Hi everybody, I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to bonus weather video number 1 for this week. And we're going to talk just a little bit about some weather folklore that before we had all these sophisticated weather forecasting tools, people made their own weather forecasts based on things that they observed. And it turns out that there's a lot of scientific basis to all of it. They just didn't know how to explain it, but they certainly knew how to observe it and how to predict it. So let's go on ahead and take a look at 3 of those. There are many of these, but I thought these were probably the three of the most well-known. Okay, so how light gets scattered and how it affects the colors that we see. The scattering of light is inversely proportional to the 4th power of the wavelength, okay? Now, it turns out that blue color on one end of the spectrum has a shorter wavelength than red colors do. So reds are long wavelengths, blues are short wavelengths. So the equation is that scattering is proportional to, again, the inverse 1 over lambda, which is the wavelength, raised to the 4th power. So a shorter wavelength means the denominator is smaller, and if the denominator is smaller, then the overall value of that fraction is larger, so there is more scattering of blue light. A longer wavelength, like red, makes the denominator larger, okay? That makes the fraction smaller, and so there is less scattering of red light. So that's why the sky is blue. Now, the saying, red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky at morning, sailor takes warning. So if blue light is scattered more than red light, then we end up with a blue sky. But at sunrise and sunset, the sun's rays have to travel a longer distance through the atmosphere, and all of the blue light gets scattered out, okay? And so the only thing that's left is red light at that point in time, and that's why we see a red or an orange sky many, many times at the beginning and also the end of the day. Now, if clouds are coming in from the west, the sunrise will make those clouds look orange and red, signaling the approach of a storm, because normally weather systems move from west to east across the country. So in that case, red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. If clouds are departing to the east, then the sunset will make those clouds look orange and red, signaling the departure of a storm system. So red sky at night, sailor's delight. And here's just a little simple graphical depiction of that. There's the Earth and there is the atmosphere. When the sun is directly overhead, it passes through that distance of the atmosphere. But at sunrise and sunset, it actually has to pass through a longer part of the atmosphere. And then again, all of the blue light gets scattered out, and the only thing that's left to see are the oranges and the reds. Now, a very similar one to this is rainbow in the morning, sailors take warning, and rainbow at night, sailor's delight. Rainbows always occur on the opposite side of the sky from the sun. So you will never see a rainbow on the same side of the sky as the sun. The sun has to be to your back, the rays go over your head, bend into a raindrop, bounce off the back of it, bend again coming out, and then get to your eyes, okay? And you can actually make your own rainbow. I used to do this all the time in front of the WRAL building because they had a fountain there. And so if I stood with the sun to my back and the fountain in front of me, I could make my own little rainbow. And here's another little interesting tidbit. If you're standing next to somebody and you both see a rainbow, the water droplets that are causing the rainbow you see are not the same raindrops that are causing the rainbow that your friend sees. So seeing a rainbow is a very, very personal experience. Okay, so rainbow always occur on the opposite side of the sky from the sun. So rainbow in the west means the approach of moisture, okay? And a rainbow to the east means departing moisture. So you can sort of see how that works. And then the last one, a ring around the sun or moon means rain or snow will come soon. Well, halos are actually created by the refraction of light by ice crystals, okay? And many, many times in approach of a storm system, you will have high, thin cirrus clouds, which are made of ice crystals and often the forerunner of a storm coming along. So the rings around the sun and moon can, not always, but can mean the approach of a storm system. But again, sometimes you can just have harmless high clouds out there and they have nothing to do with an approaching storm system. So that one doesn't always work, but it does sometimes. Okay, so those are three. There are many, many more. If you do a Google search for weather sayings and weather folklore, you'll see an awful lot of them out there. I believe there was another one about the fact that the amount of dew, if you have a lot of dew, then that signals dry weather, believe it or not, because dew forms when you have clear skies and light winds and the air cools and you get saturation right at the ground level and you get a lot of dew. So that would actually say you're in a fair weather pattern. But in a moist weather pattern, the temperature isn't going to drop as much at night and you're not going to get the formation of dew. And so in those situations, rain would actually be more likely, okay? Okay, that's bonus weather video number 1 for today. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll have another update for you coming up tomorrow afternoon, and the next bonus weather video will be coming up on Friday. You have a great Tuesday evening, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.